Hey guys, Nick with Chum Wizards here, and I wanted to talk about a concept or idea that as an artist maybe you didn't quite consider. And that concept is that science can help you approach art and improve in a different way. What I mean by that is you can use the principle of the scientific method to actually help you improve at your art. Now, you might be thinking like, well, yeah, maybe a bit, but hear me out. The scientific method or the scientific theory basically goes, and I wrote this down, it starts off with 1, a question, 2, research, 3, hypothesis, 4 is your test, 5 is to ask yourself, is it working? And 6 is analyze and conclude, and finally 7 is to share your results. Now, if you really think about it, as I pull hair from my head that is not my own, if you use the scientific method, you start off with the question of, well, how do I improve as an artist? Well, if you already know what your question is, you've started in the scientific method. And then number 2, research. I mean, that's probably why half of you are even watching this video right now, is because you have a question and you're looking for that answer. You're doing the research. So there's lots of ways to do that research. It could be, YouTube videos. It could be searching Google. It could be going old school and going to the library. Or you could be simply asking somebody else in the field, how they went about it and what they did. Now, the next thing is to have an hypothesis. So after you've done all this research and you have an idea, like you have a pretty good inkling of how to create whatever it is you're looking to create. Well, the very next thing that you're going to do is you're going to test that hypothesis. So obviously you're going to sit down and you're actually going to create for yourself. It's wonderful and dandy to have an idea of what you think will work, but until you actually try and put it into practice, it never will. You'll never get that chance. So you have to test your theories, and then you have to ask yourself as you're creating, is this working? And if it is working, great, you can continue doing what you're doing. But if it's not working, obviously you need to fix something, and that leads right back into the analysis and the conclusion. When you finally finish a piece, at some point you eventually have to call every piece done. So if you have gotten to a point where you have to say, all right, this piece is done, yeah, there's going to be stuff you might not like about it yet. That's perfectly fine. And the reason why that's fine is because at some point or another you have to move on to the next thing. You have to learn from that thing to apply to the next thing. And that's the whole point of the scientific method, is to answer a question. And in this case, the question is how to do whatever it is that you're trying to do with your art. And by using this method, you're able to see what works and what didn't work based on what other people have done and what other people give you as feedback, which is the final point, is to share your results. Because the same as science, art doesn't just live with just us. It comes from a natural curiosity about all things that relate to our field, and science is a great way of showing how to question everything and find an answer. And by sharing your results with other people, you also get their feedback, because maybe they know something that you don't know or you never thought of, and it can completely change the results of your next test. So yeah, just ask the question, do some research, try it out, see if it's working, analyze why it didn't work, and then share that with somebody else, and you'll be surprised how much you grow. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your day.